Welcome back to Short Stories and More, where we read to you our most loving stories. This evening, we read to you a story for the current season, Valentine's Day, and how it's never too late to turn back time. If you're new, please like and subscribe for more content like this. If you're returning, we thank you for your continued support. Now, sit back, relax, and enjoy the story. The Valentine I Didn't Choose. Farris wakes up on Valentine's Day. Butterflies dancing in her stomach. The holiday buzz at her high school makes the hallways hum with anticipation. Students trade candy hearts and secret letters, each eager to receive something special before the day ends. Two boys vie for Farris's attention. The first, Hansel, a popular 15-year-old with a rebellious streak. The type every 9th grade girl, including Farris, can't help but admire. Then there's Anais, a recent transfer whose father's military career keeps his family on the move. He carries himself with quiet confidence, friendly and bright, radiating a more subtle, good boy charm. In their shared honors class, Anais finds himself captivated by Farris, a striking blend of intellect and beauty. However, she barely acknowledges him, her focus entirely on Hansel. Unaware of each other's intentions, both boys plan Valentine's surprises for her. Anais surreptitiously slides a handwritten note into Farris's locker, asking her to meet him in the library. He signs it with his nickname, Arrow. Hansel, by contrast, orchestrates a grand performance in the school courtyard. He presents Farris with a flashy bouquet of roses, accompanied by an over-the-top card proudly declaring, "Be my Valentine." Already smitten with Hansel, Farris feels a flutter of elation at the public display and, with fondness in her eyes, accepts his invitation. Anais waits with a teddy bear and a red, heart-shaped box of chocolates, his expectation dimming with every passing minute. When word of her decision finally reaches him, it's like a crushing blow to his heart. Not long after, his family's departure whisks him away from her world, as fleetingly as his chance at love had appeared. Over the ensuing years, Farris and Hansel date through college, their relationship oscillating between phases of closeness and periods of distance. Sometimes inseparable, sometimes apart, they navigate their pivotal journey with an uneven cadence. Gradually, she recognizes the profound incompatibility, and ultimately, they break up for good. Valuing independence, she channels her energy into her career and discovers her passion for food styling. Her social media transforms into a gallery of artfully composed dishes that elevate everyday meals into visual poetry. Love has slipped down her list of priorities. One afternoon, Farris scrolls through her feed and comes across chatter about her high school reunion. Photos of former classmates flood her timeline. Some married, some with children, others making a difference in the world. Briefly, She envisions the alternate paths her life could have followed. A muted weight of comparison settles on her shoulders, but she promptly exits the app, unwilling to let those thoughts overshadow her sense of self. Farris arrives for her Valentine's getaway to Washington, D.C. with her closest girlfriends, Kiyomi, Dominique, and Brea. Their host, Kiyomi, has curated an exciting weekend, packed with pampering and a special evening, topped off with a request for everyone to bring their diaries. On her way to the hotel, she stops by a local wine shop to pick up her favorite bottle. While browsing the selection, she notices a man who seems vaguely familiar, but she can't quite place him. Before she can gather her thoughts, he disappears, oblivious to the puzzled expression on her face. After her solo adventure, Farris reunites with her friends for a festive weekend. Friday unfolds with a spa day and leisurely brunch, whereas Saturday features a spirited photo shoot, leading into an intriguing murder mystery dinner. On Sunday afternoon, they linger over tea at a delightful bakery cafe, immersed in laughter and reflection. The weekend culminates at a quirky book bar, where an open mic night encourages patrons to bear their most personal writings, from embarrassing diary entries to heartfelt poems and passionate love letters. Amid the crowd, Farris spots the man from the store. He stirs a faint memory inside her, a nagging sensation she can't shake. Her friends nudge her to take the mic, but just when she's about to decline, he steps onto the stage. His deep, resonant voice commands the room. He introduces himself as Anais and reads his poem about a teenage crush, titled Be Mine.
Though we haven't spoken yet, your light I can't forget. Your laughter feels like spring, warm and bright in everything. I leave these words with care, my heart laid open, bare. Be my Valentine today. Meet me where the stories stay when the final bell rings near. In the library, I'll be here.
The details weigh heavily on Farris's mind, but her recollection remains hazy and fragmented. The urge to speak to Anais clashes with doubt. What if he doesn't remember her? Or worse, they never truly knew each other. At last, she musters the courage to seek him out, only to find he's already gone. The next day, she leaves the city, his name echoing in her mind like the ghost of a memory. Back in Atlanta, Farris calls her friend Tiana about Anais. Though Tiana doesn't remember him at first, she later reports that her cousin played basketball with him. He went by Arrow back then. With her recent trip to Washington reviving old memories, Farris returns to her childhood home in search of her high school mementos. She rummages inside a dusty trunk filled with yearbooks and award certificates. Her hand brushes against a box of forgotten schoolwork, and a note slips out, decorated with a sketched arrow in flight and the name Arrow scrawled across the front. Beneath it, a cupid aims its bow at the words "Be Mine," in elegant, swirling script, the very title of Anais's poem in D.C. Her breath hitches as the connection crystallizes. Farris studies the ink's flow, where the pen pressed harder with intensity and where the strokes softened, hesitant and unsure. She clutches the note. What if she had truly read it that day and walked through those library doors? She can almost see it. Shy glances exchanged over library tables turning into a bond, soft conversations blossoming into love. What if they could build a life together? Shelves overflowing with well-loved paperbacks, savoring peaceful mornings over steaming coffee. It's a vision vivid yet out of reach. She clings to this newfound piece of truth, a reminder that the most meaningful paths often lie hidden until it's too late. She tucks the note into her bag, nostalgia and hope mingling in her chest. Perhaps there's still an opportunity to uncover Anais' story, to believe in the power of second chances. Curious, Farris begins searching for Anais online. A small globe icon reveals he's living abroad, and a pang of disappointment hits her. Success fills Farris's days. Her food styling career has soared beyond expectations, 1 million followers strong, with brands competing for partnerships. But when her world grows calm, her heart longs for love. As another Valentine season returns, her plans shift. With her friends tied up by weddings and babies, their usual Galentine's celebration falls through. Instead, business takes her to D.C. The city's vibrant pulse draws her back to the Book Bar's open mic night, a place she never expected to return to. She takes a seat, her eyes scanning the dimly lit room in search of a known face. Her name ripples across the room, a summons both exhilarating and terrifying. Her heart pounds. Gripping the edge of her chair, she exhales slowly and rises. With every eye on her, she makes her way to the stage. She opens her journal, smooths the page, and begins to read.
A letter, years too late. You asked me to be yours, a whisper I never heard. While my heart chased spotlights, missing the quiet light beside me, I walked past your locker note, past the chance for something true. Now I wonder if fate meant for me to stop and read those words from you. Here I stand, voice trembling, wishing I could turn back time. You wrote, "Be mine," I never saw. But now I'd say, I wish I'd known. I wish I'd known your gentle heart, the way you watched from quiet corners. Hope sealed in a note. Tonight I speak these words aloud, sending them into the dark like a letter, years too late, finding its way back home to you.
Farris's voice trails off on the final words. She offers a slight bow and makes her way to the door, a mixture of relief from having spoken her truth and a hollow ache at her failed attempt to see Anais again. Outside, she shivers against the cold, visible puffs of air escaping her lips in the crisp night. Just as she pulls out her phone to check her ride, a recognizable voice cuts through the silence behind her.
Farris?
She spins around, her pulse racing. It's Anais, strong and graceful, his rich brown skin glowing under the street lamps. His thoughtful eyes reveal hidden stories, and when he offers a small, knowing smile, his dimples emerge, naturally charming. A pause stretches, thick with unasked questions and lost possibilities. A fragile moment, poised to either break or bind them together.
I heard your poem.
He murmurs, his words precise as arrows.
I wasn't sure you'd even be here,
She responds.
Your social media suggested you were somewhere far away.
I was,
He says.
but I'm here again. For the time being, it's temporary, maybe longer.
The street hums around them, a gentle undercurrent of traffic and distant conversations. A car pulls up, its headlights bleeding over their silhouettes, but Farris raises a dismissive hand, urging it onward. Her phone vibrates, a forgotten plea ignored. She doesn't want to move from this rare encounter, Not now. They greet each other warmly. He offers his hand, a gesture of reconciliation. When she places hers in his, a surge of warmth courses through her, electric and comforting. Ananias's fingers press into hers, his touch a quiet confession.
I always wondered, did you read the note? Did you ever understand?
I didn't grasp the importance at the time.
She admits in a low voice.
Please don't hold it against me. I was young and naive. Maybe we could start over?
Something changes in Ananias's gaze. A quiet surrender, a tenderness long concealed.
Are you free tomorrow?
Farris nods, her excitement simmering right below the surface.
I am.
She replies softly. They embrace affectionately, and in that instant, they are no longer the conflicted youths they once were. Now, they are ready to truly understand one another, to choose each other with clarity and intention. The end. We hope you enjoyed our story. Have you ever had a love get away? Did they ever come back to you? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And until we read again, stay cozy.